How do you dry rose hips? If you have ever wondered how to dry rose hips, you are in for a treat. These little fruits are not just beautiful, they are packed with nutrients and can be a great addition to your survival skills toolkit. Let's break down the process step by step to ensure you can preserve these gems effectively. First, you need to harvest and prepare the rose hips. The best time to pick them is after the first frost. This is when they are firm and ripe, offering the best flavor and nutrient content. Once you have gathered them, rinse the rose hips thoroughly to remove any dirt or insects. Use a sharp knife to carefully trim off the blossom and stem ends. Next, consider removing the seeds and fine hairs inside the rose hips. While this step is optional, it is recommended for a more pleasant experience. Cut the hips in half and use a spoon or the rounded tip of a knife to scrape out the seeds and hairs. Doing this before drying can help reduce any irritation when you consume them later. Now let's talk about the drying methods. You have 3 main options to choose from. The first is air drying. Spread the cleaned rose hips on screens or trays lined with wax paper in a warm, dry, and well-ventilated area. Make sure to keep them out of direct sunlight. If you are drying them outdoors, pick a warm, dry day with little wind. This method can take anywhere from several days to a month, depending on the conditions. If humidity rises, bringing them indoors overnight can help. The second method is oven drying. Set your oven to a low temperature, around 40 degrees Celsius or about 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Spread the rose hips on a baking tray and dry them gently for 3 to 5 hours. Keep the oven door slightly open to allow moisture to escape. After drying, let them cool before storing. The third method is using a food dehydrator. Place the rose hips on the dehydrator trays and set the temperature to about 40 to 45 degrees Celsius or 105 degrees Fahrenheit. Drying can take around 24 to 48 hours, depending on the size and moisture content of the hips. This method is efficient and helps preserve the nutrients well. Once you think the rose hips are dry, it is essential to test for dryness. Properly dried rose hips should feel hard and shriveled, with no soft or moist spots. If any moisture remains, they could mold during storage. When it comes to storage, keep your dried rose hips in airtight containers, such as glass jars, and place them in a cool, dark spot. If dried and stored correctly, they can last over a year, making them a reliable food source in survival situations. Finally, you can use dried rose hips in various ways. They can be used whole or ground into powder for teas, infusions, or as a nutritious addition to meals. Before using, remember to shake or sift the dried hips to remove any remaining hairs. By drying rose hips, you are not only preserving a nutritious wild food but also ensuring you have a source of vitamin C and antioxidants available year-round. Whether you are in the wild or preparing for an emergency, knowing how to dry rose hips is a skill worth having.